Welcome to the Issue Crew. It's the show where we all have issues, both with our lives and with each other. I am your host, Riley, of course, joined by a wacky cast of characters, as per usual. Andrew,
How's it going, everyone? It's Beyonce.
Kathy,
Hi.
Mo Diggity,
Yeah, hey, what's up? How you doing?
and special guest joining us again for the first time. Glad to have him on the show. Good first time guest. We're glad to hear from him. Welcome to the show, jELeeoo. How you doing, buddy?
You got something wrong there.
Okay.
And frankly, this is an issue on my fault. I'm sorry, I lied to you, Riley, twice actually.
All right.
You see, first of all, my name isn't jELeeoo.
Okay.
My name is Johan. Second of all,
Okay.
this episode is not about literature and books. It's about the fact that I wrote a book, and it's on sale right now at Amazon.com.
Wait, for real?
Hey guys, check the recording chat. Yep, this is not a joke. I have written a full-ass novel, and it is on sale on Amazon right now. It is called What's Your Problem by Johan Birch. Johan Birch is me. I am Johan.
Why didn't you tell me this? Why didn't you tell me this was coming, like, earlier today? Because I needed $10 more in my purchase. You could have told me.
Oh, skill issue.
I'm gonna need to do some research on this Johan Birch individual. I think
could
there
literally
might be
just-
some sort of espionage here.
He did write it.
I did. I could show you the Illustrator file for the cover.
He sent me an early version of it.
That's true. I did ask Kathy to check grammar shit along with some other individuals.
Shipping address, that's my address, right? Yep.
Yep. You can buy it
MasterCard.
right now.
Oh, Andrew's buying it right now. Holy
Hell
shit.
This
yeah.
order,
What is he gonna get, the paperback or the Kindle?
paperback.
All right.
Estimated
I don't
delivery
get paid
August
until
24th.
tomorrow, but I'm also going to buy this book.
I
Hell
don't
yeah.
get paid until Wednesday. You see
You
me
know what's
complaining?
You know what's really funny?
Hmm.
The paperback costs more, but I make more money from the Kindle.
That's actually funny.
Get more of a cut of the cake for the Kindle.
Yeah. Well,
More
also,
of a bigger piece of the pie.
yeah. But anyways, this is not a joke. I have written a book. It is called What's Your Problem? It is on sale right now on Amazon.com, and you are able to buy it and read it and have a blast reading it because it's a good book. I have sent it to some individuals, and so far they have told me it is great. My father has read it. I have yet to ask his opinion on it because I'm scared.
He read it, you just don't know what he thinks about it yet.
Yeah, exactly. Literally. He's like, can I check it out? And I was like, yeah, sure. And then I haven't asked him since.
Yeah, that's fair. So you wanna... I mean, I can see the Amazon page, so I know the synopses, but for our listeners who might not be
Yeah.
looking at it, you want to give us a little pitch on this book here?
So for those curious, the book What's Your Problem is about a man named Sam. Sam the man. You see, Sam is an alcoholic currently going through the worst breakup of his life. His wife and newborn daughter have left him. Left with the aftermath, Sam continues life as if nothing has changed, meeting new people and getting into a lot of weird personal troubles along the way. How has all this craziness in his life affected him?
I'm still mad that you didn't tell me, 10 hours earlier, because I had to buy something on Amazon. And now I've made 2 Amazon purchases today.
Yeah, you could have consolidated it with the same Amazon purchase if only you knew.
Yeah,
I wanted to make it a surprise.
I know, but I like
Surprise!
complaining. I think we know how this goes with me and complaining.
Yes.
I mean, famous complainer Andrew's away. Really,
Yeah, I tend to complain a lot, apparently.
yes.
Apparently people don't like it.
You want
They
to know how
say.
much of a boomer I am right now?
How much of a boomer are you?
Okay, so I never thought I'd ever actually live this long enough to be this mundane. But my Amazon fucking future purchase list. All right, the man child in me is buying a $15 fucking PS3 controller charger bay for my PS3 controllers because I still play PS3, and I really like all the games on there. But on top of that is a waffle maker, the ones where it has a little fucking plate at the bottom of it, and a handle that you can twist, so you can just crap out the fucking the waffle that you're making, and beneath that, the second priciest item on the list is a fucking pancake batter dispenser. And I've always wanted one of those because I've been wanting pancakes and waffles lately. And
Who
if
wouldn't want those
yeah,
things?
oh, I just want the waffles all up in my grill, in my face, in my mouth.
Me
So what made you
too,
come
bro.
back?
Me?
Yeah.
Where did I go?
Yeah, you were about to go crash out, then all of a sudden you just came back and you did the intro.
What are you talking about?
What are you
Oh,
talking about?
oh god. All right, never fucking mind. Never mind, never mind. I'm not high enough for these shenanigans yet. Give me a
No,
few.
I realized my mistake. You see, to part the kimono, folks. I came home
Okay.
today, or before I came home. Even this started like a few hours before my workday was done. I just had like this awful headache. I was like really balloon headed. And I got home. I took aspirin. I ate, and I got really tired. And it ended up being so bad that I did take a nap, which I try to avoid doing before a show, because then once I nap, when I wake up, it's hard to remain awake and fully aware and ready to do a comedy program on the internet. Uh, and this is one of those
Comedy?
situations. Yeah, I know the show funny. What?
When
But
we call you funny. No, I'm just playing. I'm playing.
but yeah, so I got in here. I didn't know if I was going to be able to do it, but you know, Jason's here. He hasn't been here in a long time.
I made a book.
I didn't want to miss the show. You made a book, which I didn't know, so I'm glad I came here so I could know that you made a book.
I know. That's why I'm actually like excited to do a podcast.
Yeah, I should have known there was some sort of ulterior motive involved in that whole thing.
Yeah.
I also am not running an OBS backup. I am not on the top of my game today. That's running now. Folks, we're talking about books today.
The book Jason wrote. The book Jason wrote is pretty good.
Kathy, can you speak at more than minus 95 volume when you talk?
The book that Jason wrote is pretty good.
Okay, Kathy. Thanks, buddy.
You
Really
got
bringing
quieter. That did not help us.
project. You're on a podcast.
The book that Jason wrote is pretty good.
It is.
You don't need to keep repeating the same phrase. We heard you every time. It's just that we're telling you to stop being a meek, quiet little mouse over there and speak like you're on a show.
Hey, can I talk about a book I like?
Sure, what's a book you like?
No.
I know exactly what she's gonna say, but I'll feed into it.
Let her cook. Let her cook.
So there's this book called War of the Worlds.
I own that one. I haven't read it, but I own it now.
Is that the book that you thought I was going to talk about?
No, there might have been another book in mind, but if I had to make a second choice as to what it might be, it would have been War of the Worlds, because you have talked about it a lot. So, by all means, if you want to take the floor and tell us your feelings on War of the Worlds, just get us in the right mood here. You can go right ahead.
If Jason has anything more to say about his book, I'd like to
Oh,
hear it.
we'll talk about it more later. But first, let's hear about.
We'll mix it in. We'll pepper it in throughout the show.
This entire episode is just going to be about my book, but we're just adding some supplementary stuff.
Jason should just read his book out loud, just an audiobook, and that's the
No,
episode.
I haven't submitted a copyright claim to it yet, the audiobook yet.
Ah, fair.
So in War of the Worlds, it was basically the foundation for all of our modern sci-fi that we have today. In War of the Worlds, aliens invade the Earth and start basically just killing all of the humans they can find and draining their blood. So the guy sees the first alien spaceship land, and an alien pops out and then goes back into the spaceship, and then there's a heat ray that the aliens have that burn the
The chains, it burns.
all the landscape around it. this guy escapes to a nearby town, and then the aliens come and destroy that town with tripods.
With tripods like a camera has?
Yeah, like that, but except they walk.
Uh, that wouldn't be good. If a tripod walked, that would make me uncomfortable. So yeah, that sounds like a pretty bad enemy to be against.
And basically, the entire story of War of the Worlds is basically a documentation of this invasion from the perspective of a journalist.
Interesting. I'm very interested in this. This is why I bought it. I know I've heard you talk about it. It's a very good book. You see, the timing of this is I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna be maybe partly delusional because I have had these books in my possession for months at this point. But I'm trying to get into reading, and it is extremely slow going. I've made it a point to at least just like read a couple pages every once in a while just to say I'm still doing it. But I just haven't found myself able to like focus and read for a long period of time for quite a while now. I came into possession of a few books somewhat recently. Alex, my co-host from my other show, she bought me Men Are Better Than Women, Dick Masterson's book. And at that point, I kind of became inspired. I decided I kind of wanted to get back into reading because I
Isn't
hadn't
that
read.
just? Isn't that like literally just sexist?
It's
No, we'll
satire.
get to sexism. We'll get there.
Oh, will we get to sexism? Wait, what are you talking about that we'll get to sexism? I mean, it's our favorite topic here at the Issue Crew,
I'm gonna
sure,
turn
but
my camera on.
uh-oh. But folks,
Well,
yeah,
before we get
so
to shit posting and irony posting and all that, I do want to talk about War of the Worlds.
can I let me finish my statement that I was in the middle of making. So Alex bought me Men Are Better Than Women, and at that point, I became inspired because I hadn't read in a while, and I really do want to get back into reading because, like, I feel like I've had a lot of friends like that I've talked to, and they've all been like, "Yeah, bro, books." Like all of a sudden, like a good few of my friends who were not into books before are just like, "Yeah, bro, books, bro, epic," and I'm like, "Dude, for
Whoa.
real?" Uh,
Dude, can you believe that they turned trees into stuff you can read, man?
Pretty
Well, they're
Wow.
crazy.
coming out with Impossible books. It's like the vegan version of books.
Oh, what is it on? Like shit? Like what's the book on?
They started taking rocks and just carving letters into them.
Wow.
Yeah, the original hipsters.
It's
Like humanity going back to the Stone Age, ironically, would be something definitely on my current year bingo card.
it would be pretty funny.
Ted Kaczynski would be proud.
Ted Kaczynski would be super proud. That's one of my favorite books. The Industrial Revolution and its consequences on society.
I don't even have time. I don't even have time to sort of look at humanity and go, you guys are doing exactly what Ted Kaczynski fucking wanted to do. It's fucking nuts, man.
But anyway, so the point I'm trying to get to real quick before I give Mo the floor regarding War of the Worlds, is so I was inspired. So I visited today's sponsor. I'm just kidding. But
Today's sponsor, What's Your Problem by Johann Birch.
oh yeah, that's actually today's sponsor. This show is brought to you by What's Your Problem by Johann Birch. Go to Amazon.com and purchase it today.
Yeah, actually, there's something I do want to say, actually. Right now, it is $10 on paperback, $6 on Kindle, but on September 21st, that price will not be the same. The price will increase. Get it while it's cheap now.
Oh shit, the price will in. Oh no.
Yeah. Apparently, if you make good sales within the first 30 days of releasing, you get like more advertisements from Amazon for free.
Oh, that's cool.
So I'm trying to sweeten the deal. Actually, I have a video scheduled to come out in like an hour talking about how I
About
published
your
it.
book?
Yeah.
All right. Well, fuck this place. Let's go wait in your fucking chat and go
Yeah.
fucking
Let's
wait for
wait
your
in the
video.
premiere chat. Yeah.
It's not a premiere though. It's just gonna shadow drop. Because shadow drop.
Oh, well, I was actually gonna unironically like tell everyone, hey, let's go open up a tab, just like waiting there and like talking there while we're shit posting in here. But I
But
guess not. Never mind.
just I guess real quick, I'll finish my point and then I have a question for Jason. Remind me if my brain gets rid of it. But I went to thriftbooks.com, which is a used book online purchasing website that has extremely affordable books. And I bought 8 books for about $40.
Which is a pretty
And
good deal.
yeah, it was a pretty good deal. And I have not started any of them yet because I'm still reading Men Are Better Than Women. I am more than halfway through, but it's been slow going. I haven't been able to focus on it much. But I've been making sure to read at least a couple pages whenever I get the opportunity, just to keep on it.
I actually have
S-
advice for how to be a better reader.
oh, sure. Tell
Uh,
me.
the first thing is just like set like a goal, like a page goal, a chapter goal of just like, every day or every time I read, I want to read this many pages or this like many chapters. Like that's the biggest thing. And if you can do that, if you just build that routine, it just gets easier and easier every day.
That sounds like a fair cop. I will start trying to do that.
If you are getting bored, genuinely just like stop reading for like a week or however long you need and then come back to it.
Okay, that's fair. But my question for you regarding your book is, I guess I don't quite know Amazon's book sale process. Is
So
it
Amazon has this program called Kindle Direct Publish, where basically you give them a Word document and they'll make a book for you, and they'll take a cut of it, obviously.
and does this program, out of curiosity, does it not offer hardbacks at all? Because that was my curiosity immediately.
Hardcovers?
Yeah.
Yes, it does. It does.
Does it represent, some of the more oppressed groups in our marginalized society,
Yeah,
namely,
what about medium covers, like the between paperback and hardcover?
Yeah, soft covers and hardcovers.
Soft covers.
yeah, the most marginalized group in America right now, fucking improv comedians? Are they represented well in your book, sir?
No, depressed alcoholics are being represented in my book.
Oh, okay, that's your main demographic then that
Oh,
you're going toward?
Yeah, depressed
yeah, that
alcoholics.
should be.
The main
All right,
character. is
that
one.
makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah,
As a depressed alcoholic myself, I feel very represented.
good. I'm glad. This
I
is
was
the book
trying to
for
make an
you.
improv joke, but I did terrible at it.
Kathy strongly relates to the contents of Jason's book.
Kathy has also had her wife and newborn daughter walk out on her.
Ooh, gross. I would never be a
True.
lesbian.
Anyways, it's a cool book. You guys should read it sometime.
Oh yeah, I'm buying it tomorrow. Like
See,
I'm actually super excited.
I made it in mind with like that, like people normally don't like reading. So like I made it to be like very simply worded and like pretty decently short. Like you can easily read the entire thing if you're like dedicated enough in like 4 hours or so, which compared to like a lot of other books is, good. And I try to make it like not only like dark as fuck, but also funny as fuck.
That's fair. I feel like it's definitely going to be funny too because I know Jason is very good at comedic writing.
On page
Uh,
12, there's a taxes theft joke.
yes, let's go, based book. Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
So, so speaking of books, do you guys know which book is the best book?
Hey
Uh,
Mo, why don't you tell us
I'm
about
reading.
War of the Worlds,
what's your
buddy?
problem by Johann
Yeah,
Bersch? What's
the
best book?
Hobbit.
The Hobbit's a pretty good book.
Yeah,
So the
I
Book
have
of Luke.
That's a decent book.
Skywalker.
Yeah.
No,
Star Wars, the Book
Hell
of
yeah,
Luke.
dude! Yeah, I fucking love Episode 4. It's like one of my favorite ones, man.
I'm more a fan of the book of Matthew, specifically chapter 18, verse 6.
yeah. I know. Cause the little ones to stumble. Blah blah blah. Anchor around the neck.
It's a giant millstone, actually.
But seriously, I know Mo's been champing at the bit for a while now. You had some thoughts on War of the Worlds, what Kathy brought up earlier, so go ahead.
Oh, all right. Thank you. All right. So, despite having a shitty movie with Tom Cruise, and to be honest, Tom Cruise doesn't really like give a lot of visual turds, but that was one of them. But despite that crappy little movie, it did spawn the War of the Worlds spawned a lot of great sci-fi, as Kathy was talking about. It really is sort of like one of the, like, not parent but grandparent of sci-fi, right? It's fucking amazing if you watch like something like Futurama, or you watch something like it, even the Twilight Zone. You know, there's like little references to Orson Welles, who I'll get to a couple of factoids that I remembered off the top of my head.
I
Uh
love Orson Welles.
yeah, Orson Welles is like an iconic and legendary actor, and
I love that
like
commercial where he got absolutely shit faced and fucked it all over.
I love the critic references of Orson Welles, where it's just like, get out of here. I'm Orson Welles. I'm doing commercials for frozen peas, because like he was kind of broke near the end of his life, and he was having to whore himself out to the fucking man
Did
and
Orson
do.
Welles do a frozen peas commercial?
I don't know if it was
near,
frozen
near
peas,
the end
but
of his career, he just did a whole bunch of stuff trying to get like a decent amount of money. He really fell from grace.
yeah, because it was a classic. It was a classic Hollywood thing, like he thought he was going to be on top forever, and blew all his money when he first got it, and then didn't have any near the end of his life and career.
Tragedy.
Sorry, Kathy, you were going to say?
I don't think Orson Welles.
Kathy, we did not understand a word you just said.
I got
Your mic-
Silly.
Did Orson Welles write War of the Worlds?
No, he what he did was he did the first radio live broadcast of War of the
Yeah.
Worlds, and this is one of my favorite little factoids. He was so
Yeah,
good
yeah,
at
yeah.
it, and the sound engineers and everyone in the radio station were on fucking point, that it actually caused a national panic around America, because everyone sort of tuned in a little late and didn't hear the fucking the disclaimer at the very beginning of it, right? And so everyone thought that they were actually being invaded by fucking aliens. It was like one of the greatest examples of mass panic in the United States, like a little bit before the Cold War era, where like I think it's
Old World.
yeah, like old world. Like I think
Good
before the
save.
Cold World area.
It was
What?
before World War II, I think.
It
Are
was
you trying to say Cold War, Mo? You keep saying
Cold
Cold
War era.
World.
No, I keep saying Cold War. I'm speaking fast, and you're just
It's his
fucking
accent.
high.
Okay, yeah, it's just his accent, guys. It's just his accent.
But the original book of War of the Worlds was actually written in the 1800s, believe it or not.
Isn't the name of the author also Wells? Isn't it like something Wells anyway?
H.G. Wells.
It's G Wells. I was
Yes.
gonna say H.R. Wells, but that is a character from The Flash, so I knew I was wrong. H.G. Wells. Okay.
H.R.
But,
Geiger.
Giger. But yeah. That was like, it was like reading that story got me into wanting to check out War of the Worlds, and I love that broadcast. And every so often, if you're a huge fan of talk radio like I am, like you watch Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie, Ian Punnin, and the rest, yada yada, uh, you'll get like a War of the Worlds, H.G. Wells, Orson Welles, blah blah appreciation episode, where they'll like get some fucking historian on, and they'll talk about that time period and how War of the Worlds, how War of the Worlds affected sort of like this the national zeitgeist, the fucking way things were back in those things. And there's like tons of pop culture examples of that happening, like the plague in World of Warcraft. Someone, basically TLDR, someone went to a raid boss, they cast some fucking bullshit on them, but he managed to get it on his pet, right? He bags his pet because that doesn't like have him die from the disease. He teleports into a fucking populated area, releases his pet, and his pet fucking infects everybody in the general vicinity, and the fucking thing just spreads and spreads and spreads. It caused mass panic on like several servers. It was fucking chaos. It was beautiful, man. And so, like, in conclusion, like little things like that always will always make me very enthusiastic about checking out insert product thing here. The second one was there was a short-lived live action television series in the 80s. It was okay. I watched it and then
It's
forgot.
all right.
Yeah, I know
Overrated as
it's
fuck.
yeah, but it's kind of okay. It's if you watched it with like modern 4K eyes, you're gonna be like, Jesus Christ, this is so bad. I mean the acting's on point, and by on point I mean shitty and terrible, but it's fucking funny.
The off point, actually, the best form of off point. But that's interesting. I didn't know there was a TV show, and I did hear about that radio broadcast. That is, of course, a legendary story. I've definitely heard about that before. But yeah, we're a little bit War of the Worlds heavy. I don't have a lot of books to talk about. Like I said, the reading is kind of a new thing I'm trying to get back into. The last time I really read seriously was like high school. And the funny thing is, I have like a favorite trilogy of books, but I could not tell you anymore what they're about because it's been so long since I've read them.
What's the
I
name
just
of the
know it's the Testing trilogy by Joël Charbonneau. And I remember what'd you say?
Joel.
Yeah, Joël Charbonneau. And I remember those are like that's the first time I ever like went to the store and bought a book on purpose because I was forced to read the first one in English class, and I liked it a lot. So I found a PDF of the second one for free online. I could not find the same for the third one, so I just went to Books A Million and bought it. That's how invested I was in this trilogy of books.
So, the Bible.
Okay, yeah, I guess we kind of have to let Kathy talk about. No. We're gonna do the same thing I did in the conspiracy theories episode. All right, Kathy, 5 minutes on the clock. Bible, go.
The Bible is one of the best. It's not one of the best. It is the best book of all
That's
time.
not true. What's your problem, Exist?
It was written by our Lord and Savior, of course, the Lord God. Now, the Bible is split up into several different stories. And I've read a few of these stories. I've read Luke, and of course, I've read Exodus. The story of Luke is the telling of the Jesus Christ through the eyes of Luke. Somebody who is with.
I have a question.
Yeah,
So have you read like the entirety of the Bible or just like parts of it?
just Luke and Exodus.
Oh, so you're a fake fan.
Yeah,
not
fake Bible fan over here.
I'm reading the entire.
Okay, I guess if you're in the process, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm in the process.
We're still waiting for the Bible audiobook, Kathy. Come on now.
I would recommend everybody listening to this to at least pick up the Bible once. At least like try to have some faith in our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Jesus died on the cross for your sin. He died so that you could go to heaven. However, if you don't accept that, then you will never get into the eternal kingdom of God. Just please pick up the Bible, especially if you're in my generation.
Do you think there's a strong, distinct lack of Biblers, as I would like to call them, in your
Biblers.
generation?
Biblers.
Bibblers.
There's a distinct lack of faith in my generation, which is something that Jesus talked about in the Bible.
Exactly.
Well,
Exactly. I've been interested in reading it, but like it just seems too long. Andrew, what
if
the
you're
fuck are
just
you doing?
all I can hear is your fucking fan and a controller clack.
Why
So
is my
please mute
fan being
yourself.
so loud?
Why do you sound like shit?
What the fuck happened? Hold on, something happened.
No, Andrew, your fan is always loud. You just like don't hear it when you edit, so you're convinced it's not real. Kathy, you do have 2 more minutes if you have anything else you would like to say
Dude,
about the
I just
Bible.
want to say, I love my Lord Jesus Christ. I love the Father, I love the Son, and I love the Holy Spirit. The Bible
Amen.
teaches the Bible teaches us that no matter who you are, no matter where you are, you can be saved and you can be redeemed of your sins if you repent for them. Now, please, please read the Bible.
I've been I think like learning about like religions is super fascinating to me. So I have been interested in just like reading all sorts of like religious texts, like like the Bible and like the Quran and stuff like that. Because
I
like
have 2 Bibles. I just have them like in my house
I'm
somewhere.
certain there's one around my house somewhere. My dad was like raised heavily Catholic.
There's one around my house, and I've been reading that one.
Yeah, I was brought up Catholic,
I was
so
brought up
like
Lutheran.
yeah, so I definitely religion was a big part of my childhood, and I definitely have had like a Bible in my house as long as I've been able to perceive what is in my house. But I have not read much of it because I just like it. I think they tried too hard to like shove it into me when I was a kid. Like I was obviously going
Yeah.
to church every week with my grandmother. I went to Sunday school. So it was like I don't
Oh,
care about how fucking on the seventh day Jesus rested or whatever the fuck. Okay,
you know
I'm
what this
What?
done.
reminds me of?
No.
You know what this reminds me of?
I know I quoted that wrong, Kathy, but yes, Jason, what did that remind you of?
Books. Schools force you to read books, and that's why most people don't like them nowadays. It's like the same because we were forced to do this kind of shit as children. We're like not that interested in it now. Like because children, like if you want to get your kid into something, you need to make it seem like it was their idea to get into it.
You have to incept them, basically, is what you're saying.
Basically, yeah. Like you never if you want someone to do something, you have to make it look like it was their idea. Like that's just like the quote from Dale Carnegie from his award-winning book How to Make Friends and How to Win Friends and Influence People, which is actually like a super important book, believe it or not. Like I know a lot of people, like both in like actually famous people, and just like personal anecdotes of like people like reading that book and being like, I can like influence people to like get me a higher position job now. I've read like the first third of it, and then my dad asked to read it himself, and then I never got it back. Anyways, I'd like to talk about books.
Sure. So I guess we kind of focused on more of the worlds. We focused on the Bible, which I gave Kathy 5 minutes to talk about, which is now lapsed. So we're not going to talk about it again for the rest of the episode. What are some other books you want to discuss, Jason?
I want to discuss the books that got me into this reading craze as of late. I've always been sort of like a casual book enjoyer. Like there's like only 3 to 4 books that like I actually liked, you know. But this Thanksgiving, I was talking with like my 2 of my uncles, and the conversation led to books, and like I'm not gonna fucking say I read manga in front of them. So like I just said, yeah, I don't really read.
Yeah, bro. Have you guys ever read Guts or read Berserk, bro? It's pretty sick. It's pretty good.
I did mention Monster to one of them. But
I gotta watch Monster. You recommended that to me, and I think me and
it's really
Patrick were gonna start it, but I
it's really
forgot.
fucking good. It's really fucking good. Anyways, uh, so he then was like, if you don't like reading, I recommend this, and he handed me 3 books. One of them was How to Win Friends and Influence People, and the other was a book called Razor Girl, which was really boring, and I stopped reading it. And then the third one was Ham on Rye by Charles Bukowski, and I just fell in love. I love Bukowski. All but like one of his books are just so entertaining to read. He he
What's
write
the bad? What's the bad Bukowski book?
I'll talk about it in a second. I'm getting there. But
Okay, okay.
he likes to write about just like ridiculousness of life and like just what you have to just do to survive in the average American life, you know, because like his whole mainstream appeal is that he never had one to begin with, you know, like he's been like he only got popular at age 50 when he published his first book. And the rest of his life he's spent just like working odd jobs, like just job hopping places to place. And like he's like really fucking struggled in life. So he just writes about just like how stupid like consumerism and shit like that is. but he's just really funny about it, which I love. And the book was the first book of his I read was Ham on Rye, which is about his life, just like ages 3 to 20, just him like growing up during the Great Depression and shit, and it's very interesting to read.
That is really interesting.
Yeah, and then I learned that Ham on Rye is a part of like a so-called trilogy. It's just like fucking very like, just like the his publishers just decided let's put these books in like a trilogy set. So I tracked down the other two books, Post Office, which I'm pretty sure Riley bought, right? Am I right?
I believe that is the one I bought. That's the one I have on my shelf. Yeah.
Post Office was his first book. It's about, just his time working for the United States Postal Service. He spent like 12 years working there, but it's like one of the funniest books I've ever read. But one of the funniest things I've ever experienced. It is so fucking hilarious. It is great. Just hearing him talk about like a fucking one of the person's dogs like chasing him as he's just trying to deliver the fucking mail. Like he has to deliver mail to like a church and nobody was in that church, so he just like went in the basement and took a shower because he was all sweaty.
You're really selling me on this. I was kind of wondering what book I was gonna read next.
It's
I
really
think it
funny.
might be Post Office.
And then the third one is his book called Women, and that's the one that I don't like. Haha, funny joke. It's
I was
about
about to say it sounds like the kind of book I would enjoy.
it's really boring. It's about like how he blew up in popularity and he just like used his fame to just fuck as many women as possible, but it's just really boring because it's the same cycle. It's either he gets back together with his toxic girlfriend and they get in a fight and then they break up again, or he finds a person who's a fan of his, they fuck, and then she leaves the rest of the
They
book.
just like wrote a whole book about getting laid because of how good of an author he is.
Yeah,
That sounds kind of legendary.
it you would think. I thought that too. I was like, wow, that's really funny. But like, no, like, I mean, it's kind of funny how he like talks about women like they're like some alien being that he'll just never understand. But like, it's just the same.
Well, I mean, who among us doesn't feel that way? You know what I'm saying, guys? Hey.
It's 300 pages of that though. It's just 300 pages of like me and Linda got in another fight. We broke up. I found this girl who's a fan of mine. We fucked. She then saw that I was an awful person and she left. And then repeat for like 300 pages.
I mean, like, I understand women pretty well.
Okay, buddy. Kathy, would you date Charles Bukowski?
Ew, gross. He's
Would you date
old.
the corpse of Charles Bukowski?
Would you date Charles Bukowski's decaying corpse?
Would you dig up his grave and fuck him?
No.
Wrong side of history.
I mean, shortly after he released that novel, he actually got married and like settled and like was a good boy because she said I could fix him, and she actually did.
She did in fact fix him. Wow.
Yeah, he gave up hard alcohol, which like if you read Ham on Rye, you know that's a huge deal because he was like a alcoholic since age 8.
Oh.
Oof.
Yeah, like he was such a drinker that by an age 35 he nearly died because of bleeding ulcer. He was hospitalized. And then the doctor was like, if you ever drink again, you're going to die. And Bukowski was like, bet. And he kept drinking like shit.
Did you know that Drew Barrymore, like started alcoholism like real early, like right around that age too? Like there's a few pictures. I mean, they're adorable until like you hear her tell her story. They're like, yeah, by the time I was 12, I was like up to a fucking bottle a day and all that. It's like, Jesus Christ, Drew. But there's a couple of pictures of her like lighting fucking old school actors fucking cigarettes, like people that we'd consider Hollywood royalty and shit. She's like, hey, sweetheart, give me a light, she. There you go, Mr. Bleh. And it was like, oh, that's adorable, but kind of not the environment you want to raise your kid in.
Yeah.
Unless they turn to an alky.
Yeah. I mean, Sam, the main character of What's Your Problem, he started alcohol at like age 10.
Oh my god, you fucking piece of shit. God damn it.
Book chilling fuck.
I mean, he went through, I mean, it's all his fault entirely. Like, he just got addicted and like, such a cute, like, what's your problem, Sam? God, what's your problem? By Johann Birch, available on Amazon.com.
Not in hardcover though.
Non-hardcover. I have plans for an audiobook, but I'm afraid that I think a hardcover will just be super expensive to like manufacture. So I don't know if I want to do that quite yet.
That's fair.
Because like there is a printing fee for every time someone buys a paperback. I have to spend like $4.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I mean, I make that
So
money
it
back.
cost you money to.
I make the
Oh,
money back through the purchase, but still, like I'd make more.
from the Kindle because you don't have to pay the printing fee. Gotcha,
Yeah,
gotcha.
I just get 70% of the purchase.
Well, I like to have the book on my shelf, so I'm definitely gonna buy the paperback.
Understandable. I have 2 proof copies on the shelf right now. I ordered an author copy. So if you go on the Amazon page, you'll be like, "Oh, we can get it to you in like 2 days, 3 days." I ordered an author copy and it said, "Yeah, we'll get it to you September 2nd."
Damn.
It's really fun.
By the way, we're recording this on Monday, August 21st. So I think that
We
so
are.
the author copy must be really special. Because
So,
it's like something that only I could buy.
Speaking of that,
Yeah,
speaking of weird authors, does
sure.
anybody here know about House of Leaves?
House of
No.
Leaves? Yes, I know about it. Is the author like weird as fuck?
I believe that's the case. I'm not 100% sure, though. Excuse me. Basically, House of Leaves. Like, imagine House of Leaves is what happens if you take a normal book and just like fucking fuck it, right? Like, and then
Yeah.
just scribble down random letters and numbers everywhere.
This guy
Wait a
like,
minute.
this guy likes to play
Wait.
with words a lot. Hold on, here, I'll put an example of what Kathy's talking about in chat because I know exactly
Why?
what she's talking about.
Why did he fuck the book?
No. Look in recording chat. Look in recording chat. This is a
Okay.
page from House of Leaves. I'll put it on screen as well.
What the hell?
Isn't that awesome? I like that.
That is
Yeah, and,
pretty
like,
sick.
half the pages are like that, basically.
It's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, I haven't read it. I'm really excited to.
I like to play with words a lot too. Like, if, for example, in "What's Your Problem" by Johann Birch, available on Amazon.
Yeah, available on Amazon now.
There's a lot of times where, like, if a character shouts, I'll make the font like really fucking big. Like, there's a chapter that literally ends with like the word "fuck" taking up the entire page, because like a character yells like "fuck."
That's pretty great.
I know, and I also like I make a lot of bullet lists that are really funny. Like that taxes theft joke I was talking about. The full like context for that bullet list is like he's listing off things he gets from the dollar store, and then he's like, and then like, oh, and I'll just read the fucking list. So context, he's buying shit from the dollar store.
Well, let's quote Johann's text here.
Yeah. Supplies: string, thumbtacks, sharpest scissors I could find, pinboard, notebook. Sorry for your lost greeting card. Coping with a murdered loved one, a novel. Those last two were impulse buys, but I mean, hey, it's just $1. That's all on the bullet list, and then it goes ... Actually, scratch that. The dollar store is a fucking lie. Tax is real and tax is theft.
So true. So true, King.
It's so true.
Actually, according to the Bible, taxes are not theft.
Jesus is
Yeah,
pro
well,
taxes now. I hate him
Jesus
more already.
pro-tax?
But yeah, Jesus is pro-tax.
Okay, I've changed my mind about being respectful towards other people's religion.
Yeah, I can't just sit idly by and let that
I
happen.
can't. Tax is the word. Jesus, you know what? You're reading what version of the Bible are you reading? Is it the King James Bible? Are you reading that Protestant trash?
No, I'm not a Protestant.
What version are you reading? Because it's clearly not the actual text that Jesus wants us to read. Jesus would never allow us to pay taxes.
The New Revised Standardized Catholic Version.
He didn't die for our. Okay, yeah, new standardized. See, that's the thing. It's propaganda.
Yeah, Old Testament is what you want.
Yeah, the Old Testament has the real truth that you should evade your taxes, and anybody who tries to tax you.
Wait, hold on, Jason. Are you a Jew now?
I'm a American.
Yo, that's my religion.
They looked at my DNA. They looked at my DNA and they didn't find DNA. They found USA.
Oh my fuck.
That's the hardest quote I've ever heard. That's my
All right,
president.
real quick. I just want to give him the floor for like whatever 2 minutes he might have on it, because there is somebody in this call who I don't think has said a single word since the intro besides "Why is my fan so loud? What is going on?" Andrew,
Oh yeah,
what
I'm
is your
here.
history with literature and books? How do you feel about them? What are maybe what is maybe a favorite of yours? Do you read at all? Let's get the Andrew literature roundup real quick.
All right, back when I was a young and gifted kid, now I'm just gifted.
Gifted kids do not end up well.
They don't, and I'm hitting that brick wall right now. But back in the young era of me, I was actually an avid reader. I loved reading, and I loved many different book series that ended in about seventh grade. I read multiple books. The only one I can remember now was a handful of the I Survived books, but I don't remember which ones they
Did you
are
read I
exactly.
Survived 9/11?
I don't think I did. But as of recent, I have taken a bit of reading again. I've taken it back up as an activity. I bought my first book on Amazon accidentally.
What's your
My
problem by
second
Johann
book.
Birch, available on Amazon.com right now?
That is my second book. I bought a first one. It came in, and originally I thought, oh, this is going to be a great joke. It wasn't. I'm now reading it out of curiosity.
What book is it?
What's the book?
Oh, he turned on his camera.
He's turning his camera on. Oh, why women deserve less?
Hold on, let me take. Wait, put it up. Let me take a screenshot.
Why is
I've
everybody
heard of this book.
why is everybody sexist now?
They all saw Chainsaw Man.
Yeah.
What is why women deserve less about?
I will read you the first page. This book
What do you
does
think it's about?
does not call for refusing to help your fellow human if it is a woman, nor does it call for refusing work, interact, or socialize with women in society. It is to prevent you from wasting your resources in the unreciprocated romantic pursuit of women to the point it ruins your life.
Trust no bitch.
That's fucking right.
Acknowledgements. Shoutouts to these guys. Fresh Prince CEO, Rollo Tomasi, Aaron Clary, Sneeko, Donovan Sharp,
Okay.
Justin Waller, Sterling
Andrew
Cooper,
Tate.
Andrew and Tristan Tate,
Yep, sure.
Oh
Lucario
no.
/ Miles,
Kevin
Jonathan Modern
Spacey,
Life Dating, Brandon
Harvey
Carter,
Weinstein,
and Alpha Male Strategies.
Jared from Subway, Jeffrey Epstein.
Okay, so this book is just like sexist, right?
Oh yeah, no, it's entirely sexist. This whole book is about sexism and things that do not happen in real life. There's a handful of bit of evident things that are said in this book that I actually think that some people should listen to, but 98% of it is straight bullshit.
Like, give me an example.
There's one example where it's like, in the old era, the old contract was men protect women, provide them with everything, and women provide sex. But now that is entirely different. Women can provide for themselves, so they don't even
Sex
need
is
to give
over.
their
It
thing.
will not be
Yeah.
returning.
No,
And it's just
no.
like-
Women provide a good mother and a good raiser for the children.
That was also something that was brought up in it, but not everyone wants kids, okay? Which is
Yes, you-
like the only thing that Myron Gaines says in this book that I think is actually worth.
Actually, it's a woman's natural desire to want kids.
I don't care.
Unironically, it is.
I know, again, I'm reading the book. I don't want to read it, but I do want out of what does this guy have to say, but he is blatantly transphobic in this, so
Oh, based. What does he say? Hold on.
Hold on, I'm sure I could find the line again. It's pretty early in the book. Third, no matter how much women want to be men, they're still. Hold on. Pulling the light back out.
How far are we into women deserve less? Why are we just reading it?
I'm just giving the example of transphobia that they use in it.
Okay.
Third, no matter how much women want to be men, they're still biologically women. They can pursue men's sports, they can have great careers, they can scream about how much they don't need men while they still dress like men. They can even hate themselves so much that they cut off their hair and their tits, dye their hair green, mutilate their genitals, tattoo their whole body, and claim to identify as a man. However, in the end, no matter what they say, on a biological level, they are still women and will consequently behave on some level, again, making parts of the old contract valid.
I'm just thinking about that image of like the guy with the small brain shouting at the guy with the big brain.
This guy is like writing this down as he's getting railed by like a poon chat or something.
I mean, he put Sneeko in his book, so I would assume he's only into
Hey,
what.
hey, chat. WRL
Sneeko's
book.
in.
WRL book.
Yeah, no. If you want to read an anti-women book, stick to Men Are Better Than Women by Dick Masterson, because that one is written by a comedian, not somebody who wants to swallow Andrew Tate's cum.
You know, I actually read I finished a book yesterday. The Sun Also Rises by Ernest Hemingway. It was his first novel, and the entire moral of the story is do not trust women, or something like that.
It's a
You can
moral
trust
I
them.
can get behind for sure.
Like the entire book is just about like this guy, this World War I veteran who just like has impotency because of an injury in the war, and it's just like he's watching the woman he loves like ruin other people's lives by just being a woman. like she'll go out and like fuck them and like pretend to care about them, and then like a week later break up with them, and that's pretty much the entire book.
You know, not all women are like
Kathy
that.
moment.
Well,
I mean,
I would never.
when it came out, women
I
weren't
would
really
never.
like that. When the book came out, women were absolutely not like that.
Okay, first of all, I would never have sex before marriage.
That's
Fuck you.
true. That's sorry about that. That's true. But you will go on dates with poor innocent boys and then go into your group chat full of internet friends and call him a pathetic incel while you're still sitting across from him. That you will
We're still
do.
sitting across from him.
Yeah, this guy was like actually like
That's
he
so
talked about.
mean.
No. He talked about how much he hated modern women all the
Don't
time.
you hate modern women?
You know, to quote Austin Kleon, author of Steal Like an Artist, be nice. The world is a small place after all. And this is my transition into Steal Like an Artist, a book I want to talk about.
Well, I want to let Kathy finish her thought first.
All right, listen. This guy was like actual like incel. Whenever I talked to him about Jesus, he just brushed me off and said that he needed to find Jesus in his own path. Even though he didn't say that before we went on the date. This guy was just like a total dick. He didn't have any hobbies or interests outside of video games and hating women apparently.
Oh my
So,
god, he just like me for real.
Okay, so Kathy went on a date with Sneeko, and it didn't
Nico doesn't
turn
care
out
for
well.
video games. Nico cares for being on Rumble.
Fair enough. Well, a lot of people are on Rumble.
Oh yeah. Let's not diss Rumble.
did
Anyway, Steal Like an
did
Artist.
they ban Nick Fuentes? Is he off there now, Mo?
Ask Mo. He's an expert in this.
Yeah, I'm trying. Mo expert on Nick Fuentes, but I
well,
think
hold on. Yes, I think they did ban him.
because I know he went on Rumble and said he wanted to quote make them die in reference to a religious group. So
Yeah, I'm a big fan of him. So,
of Nick Fuentes, yeah, because you're attracted to him. You want to fix him.
mhm.
You want to de-radicalize Nick Fuentes and turn him into your trad husband.
And then jELeeoo chimes in like I'm playing with a fidget spinner right now.
Yeah, I can hear. I heard the fidget spinner for a second. That
I
was
love
pretty
the
epic.
fact that you can hear it. Can you hear this?
Yes.
I know. Isn't that awesome? It's spinning right now.
Oh yeah. That sound is a cathartic sound. But what was the book you wanted to talk about, Jason? Go
Steal
ahead.
Like an Artist. It's a book basically talking about like the difference between plagiarism and inspiration, and how like someone shouldn't just like make really steals the premise of another show, but instead just incorporate it in their own original work.
Okay.
But no, genuinely, it's a great book. Like, if you at all want to be creative and like artistic and shit like that, I would 100% recommend it. I got it as a birthday gift. I mean, I asked for it, but that's how I got it. It's a great book. It's very short. There's a lot of pictures. And the guy who wrote it, Austin Kleon, he's a pretty cool dude. Like I follow his social media and shit on Twitter and shit like that. Oh, by the way, Johann Birch has a Twitter account, by the way. And
What's Johann Birch's Twitter?
it's you would not believe what it does. It promotes "What's Your Problem" by Johann Birch.
No, but I meant like, what is the ad?
Oh, Johann Birch Books.
Okay.
Also, if you want to use any like quotes, or if you want to use material from "What's Your Problem," please email johannbirchbooks@gmail.com. That's how you get permission for using shit from the book.
Well, what would they use for the book?
Like quotes and shit like that, using the cover art and shit like that.
Wait, they have to email you so they can quote your book?
Legally, yes.
That's true? That's real?
I put copyright on it. I copyrighted the fucking thing.
That doesn't mean you can't quote it. People quote books all the time.
Yeah, well, I'm just see, in reality, I don't really care if you quote it or not, but like I just want like people to know that like you can always email me if you want to like do shit with me in terms of like my writer side.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, but I actually do have copyright protection on the book. If you try and like pass it off as your own work, I can and will sue you.
What?
So if I on an online
Yeah, I'm
storefront of
bringing
some
them in
forth
tomorrow.
of some sort sold
Uh-huh.
"What's Your Problem" by Riley exclamation point.
Yeah,
I would be swiftly dealt with by a court of law.
Actually, yes. Like I have the copyright certificate. I have like the rights to it. You know, it's so awesome. I had to pay $65 and then wait a month, and now they're just saying like, yeah, I sue people now.
So, how much money have you made off this book so far?
Nothing right now because it came like it literally. I got the email that it's like live for purchase on like late Saturday,
Oh, dude.
and I only did some like light advertising. Like I don't think I'll be making like money from it like the second you buy it. I think it like after you buy it, like it'll take some time and then I'll get money from it. But like I did,
It
like
might be like a once you hit a certain amount you get a payout thing.
I would hope it's not like that, but yeah, like I had to sign a W-9 form as well.
Nice.
No, it's not nice. That means I have to pay taxes.
Will you be
Hello?
buying Jason's book, Mo, or do you not love him as a friend?
Yeah, shut up. I'll fucking do that.
I'll buy Jason's book just because he gave me a copy for free, and I wouldn't feel right if I didn't.
That's true. That's true. I literally sent it out to like everybody I knew, other than you, so I could surprise you all on the podcast, and that's it. And now I have to ask you to spread the word of Jesus actually wants you to promote this book, Kathy.
Yeah, I believe in the Bible it actually says that you should promote "What's Your Problem" by Johann Birch.
That's Johann 1-1.
Johann 1-1 is it? Uh-huh. Maybe I'll
Yeah.
tell some of my friends at Bible study then.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely a religious book, not at all blasphemous.
Yeah, very, very, very Christ-oriented. That
Yeah.
Johann Birch.
I mean, honestly, there's like not a single thing about religion in the book, but I mean, like
You should make it about religion.
No, maybe I'll include a chapter about religion in my next book. Oh,
What
what's
in the
that?
world?
I already have plans for more writing projects. Yes, I do.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about your writing projects, Jason.
Well, as you guys already know, I've written some short stories, so I plan on making a short collection of short stories soon.
Yeah, I think you showed me a collection of short stories you were compiling.
I think so. It was so hard to keep this all secret because I was just like so excited for it. I love it so much. I'm so excited to be like an actual writer now. Because I've always liked writing. I liked writing scripts. I always did well in the writing assignments in school, and now I'm writing a full ass book.
Now, were you ever going to see the Metroid Prime video, or have you just graduated to books now? Is it over?
No, I'm still working on it.
Your Metroid Prime video is going to come out in the form of a book.
Yeah, it might, maybe. No, it's like an hour and 10 minutes right now. The end product's probably going to be like 2 hours.
Jesus Christ.
I really go hard on that game.
You know, you're a very active person, Jason.
You would think so, but I mean, my activities include sitting at a computer for 10 hours a day and then sleeping for 14 hours a day.
Oh, that sounds very nice.
Yeah.
All right. Come on.
Yeah, what's up, baby girl? What are other books I could talk about? Oh, do you guys know who Bret Easton Ellis is?
No,
No
that-
idea.
You definitely know. He wrote the book American Psycho.
Oh.
Yeah. So I checked out his first book called Less Than Zero. Apparently, it also has a movie. But this book is actually like super fucked up, and like it's a great book. I would never recommend reading it because it's just so fucked up.
Would you recommend the movie?
I don't know. I haven't seen the movie. I know that the guy who plays like the one guy from The Office that people really liked is in it.
Jim?
No, not
Tom
Jim.
Scott?
The boss guy. The boss guy. The
Yeah,
Oh, Michael
Tom Scott.
Scott. Yeah.
no, not Michael Scott. No. Like the other boss, like the company boss. He shows up in like season 8 or some shit. The guy who plays Ultron in
Oh,
Avengers.
yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. He's in it. Apparently, he plays the main character's drug dealer.
Cool.
Yeah. No, it's a
Wow.
very fucked up book. I imagine that the movie is not as fucked up because they needed to censor a lot of shit, probably. But very fucked up. I don't think I'm gonna recover actually. Anyways, I can't wait to read the sequel in the future.
Say the most fucked up thing that happens in the book.
I would have to censor it like dead ass.
Well,
Use-
Jason, you're editing it, so
Yeah, I'll
if you
bleep it
wanna-
out and just get your guys' reactions.
Holy shit!
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's
Why-
Excuse me, what did I tune back into?
We're talking about the guy who wrote the American Psycho book. One of his other books he wrote.
Yeah, Johann Birch.
yeah, Johann Birch.
It's a Johann Birch wrote.
My first book came out in 1985.
It was called Less Than
Surprise.
Zero. I did it under a different pen name.
I'm actually an immortal being. I can't wait for. I want people to be like, I should check out this book now that I don't know what he said, and the reaction is that horrible, and then you're gonna read it and be like, oh fuck.
That's crazy.
I know, and apparently it has a sequel.
And that one's just called. Well, it's actually a trilogy. There's Less Than Zero, there's Zero, and then there's More Than Zero.
Yeah, definitely not. The sequel is definitely called that, and not Imperial Bedrooms.
Yeah.
Wait, it should just be called Less Than 001.
It should be called Negative Zero.
Negative. Oh.
Yeah, Divide
Ooh,
by
that's
Zero.
a good. Divide by Zero is a good name.
Hell yeah. So, you guys read The Hobbit?
Yeah. That's actually the book that got me into
Tolkien?
Tolkien and reading as a kid.
That's
'Cause
awesome. It
I
is a
read
great
that
book.
book. I read that book when I was like 6.
Yeah, it's great. I wasn't like I love the Lord of the Rings movies, as anybody who has seen them properly
Yeah,
has.
of course.
Yes, of course. But like I wasn't really that big a fan of the Hobbit trilogy, and then I learned that like they made a single book that's like half as long as the Fellowship book into 3 movies. So I was like, okay.
There's a
and then
lot though in the Hobbit movie. I don't really bag on them for that.
No, Mo, you old man. We're not talking about the 1970s 80 animated one. We're talking about the one from like 2012. You
No,
silly-
yeah. I'm talking about that too. I
Yeah, I know,
still
I'm just
love the
teasing
shit.
you.
Oh, fuck you. All right. Yeah, no, I really love those movies, and like Desolation with Smog was a little boring, but other than that, I loved the first. I loved all of them a lot.
Desolation of Smog. What's the best movie though?
No,
Like
I didn't really like any of them. And then like now that I've read the book, I can say for a fact that like I think those are bad movies.
Yeah,
And
they
they're
are bad
incredibly
movies.
disrespectful to the source material and Tolkien.
Absolutely
No, it's
terrible.
not. Oh God, dude, I'm a Tolkien snob, and I don't think they disrespected him.
You're having a little bit of a Florian moment right now, Mo.
I wasn't
What
expecting
the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck is a Florian moment?
Don't worry about it. Don't ask. Don't ask.
No, fuck that. No, I'm not going to let Riley get away with jack shit.
Ugh,
What the fuck
tale
is a
as old as
Florian?
time.
What the
How
fuck
did you
is
been,
a
you've been
Florian
listening to
moment?
Is It Kino? You know who Florian is.
Well, no, I listen to podcasts when I sleep. I don't. I learn as I
actually
sleep.
He's the funny
podcast.
foreign one.
This is a Dandori moment, okay?
This is a huge Dandori issue.
So true. So true.
Yeah. Anyways, I wasn't expecting the Hobbit book to be like a bedtime story. Like it's like I did not realize that it was basically just a fairy tale bedtime story Tolkien wrote for his children and then just put in a book. And then he included a ring in it that would end up being super important later.
That nobody thought was going to be
A
included.
surprise tool that'll help us later.
It really was a surprise tool that'll help.
You know,
later.
did you know that in the original version of the book?
Oh yeah, it's like
actually
nowhere
was
near as important. Yeah, in the original. Yeah, and like it, the copy I have like has like a little introduction to the text and says like, please note that chapter 5 was changed to like fit in more with the story of the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I can't wait to read it to our kids one day, Jason.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all.
We all know how this story ends.
Tale as old as time.
We all know this ends with the cabin in the woods where an old man, Jason, is writing his next big book as his trad wife, Kathy,
God, I would love to
cooks
live
for
in
the
Cabin in
kids.
Woods. I would love Cabin in Woods. My children would be like, Daddy, what are you writing? And then I'll read to them about. And I'll be like, if you're not careful, that'll happen to you one day.
Oh no!
I actually have to censor that.
No, you don't. You could
Nah,
have.
Nah.
Okay.
Anyways, I want to talk about school books, like books we have to read in school.
Okay.
I now understand why people hate reading and like what the misconception around it, because books are cool, but the books we are forced to read are very lame and not cool. Looking at you, anything Shakespeare has made.
Yeah, that's true about Shakespeare, but I've a couple of the books that I
legit I can't like name a single like Shakespeare story we went over in school that I didn't fall asleep to once, at least once.
I think I somewhat enjoyed A Midsummer Night's Dream just because the teacher I had, I think, presented it well.
I never had to read that.
But other than that, I don't think I've ever enjoyed a Shakespeare story.
They're so boring.
I really liked Cyrano de Bergerac, but that wasn't Shakespeare. That
was not Shakespeare.
It's old though, in a similar way.
Cyrano, like, it's fucking whatever. It's stupid and dumb, and I hate it. And I prefer the movie called Roxanne. That's basically just Cyrano de Bergerac, but it takes place in the 1980s.
A Cyrano de Bergerac movie came out like last year, and I meant to see it, and I forgot that it existed. Oh yeah, that was Pinocchio. Yeah.
That was Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, Oscar Award winner.
I think so. I think the Cyrano de Bergerac movie had like Peter Dinklage in the lead role or something.
Instead of having an ugly fucking nose, he's just incredibly short.
Maybe. That part I might be making up, but I think it might have been a Peter Dinklage led movie.
But they're in school, like reading, like there was also like I can't even remember, but like it had the names, it had like stars in the title of the book, and it was just about like Jewish people hiding in World War II. Like it was so boring.
Yeah, I mean,
Lord of the Flies. If I ever have to read Lord of the Flies again, I'm gonna hang myself. Like it was so boring.
A couple of books that I have discovered through like school reading, but most of it is.
I gotta say it, Riley. I gotta say, I do not need to read an entire book to learn that British kids are rat bastards. All right, Lord of the Flies was not the one to teach me that lesson. All right.
Yeah. There's a different party responsible for teaching you that lesson.
Yeah,
who may or may not be of the hamster persuasion.
It's called America. No, I've been racist against British people long before I met Brett Baz.
That's fair. But like I've or just keep interrupting me every time I try to say this sentence. Just keep doing it. That works too.
You read in school that you liked, Riley?
I read The Giver in school. I really liked The Giver.
Sleeper o'clock.
I read The Testing in school, and that's my favorite book. So that was pretty good. Other than that, all stinkers, I think. So mostly your point stands.
There were two books I liked: The Outsiders and Animal Farm.
Oh shit, there are 3 books that I like. I forgot about The Outsiders. Fuck yeah, I love The Outsiders.
That was great, and I love the movie with Johnny Depp. I love that movie.
Johnny Depp was in that movie, huh? I guess the only person I remember being in that movie is Patrick Swayze. But yeah, I guess Johnny Depp was in it.
Yeah, it was great. Also, I never read To Kill a Mockingbird for school, so I don't know how that is.
Did I read To Kill a Mockingbird?
I watched like the first 5 minutes of the movie.
I think I definitely read a book with the N-word in it, but I don't know if it was To Kill a Mockingbird or another book.
That was actually my manifesto. My bad. I dropped it.
that was Johann Birch's text that we
The
read
teacher
in
was
school.
reading it out, trying to figure out who wrote it.
Can I give a book that I read in school that I really liked?
Sure.
Unless it's the
So
Bible.
This book is called Freak the Mighty.
Okay.
Oh, I saw that in the school library, but I never read it.
It's a really good book. So basically, it's the classic pairing of a really smart kid with a really dumb but tough kid.
with a Riley.
But
Am I dumb and tough?
well, you're dumb.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think only one of those things is true.
Jury is still out on the tough part. Get Riley, go get in a fist fight and turn your camera on, and so we can observe and make the judgment.
Riley, hit the gym.
I'm gonna pull a Tyler Durden and tell you to just start.
Wait, did Kathy just said that? I didn't hear what Kathy just said because she always speaks so quietly. Did you just tell me to hit the gym? Quote.
What did the gym ever do?
Yes, I did just tell you to hit the gym, Riley.
Okay, I'll look into it. I've got some stuff going on where it might not be feasible, but it's definitely on my radar. I need to start exercising for sure. I think I think I just buy like a treadmill or an exercise bike because
I am never going to exercise in August, bro. It's a death sentence.
That's true, but like if you go to a gym or if you had your own like exercise machine, then there's air conditioning involved. So
I told you what Adam Plays did for when he played Dark Souls, right?
No, what did Adam Plays do when he played Dark Souls?
The entire like Soulsborne series, he played on an exercise bike.
Oh, that's interesting. That sounds fun.
I know.
But yeah, like I imagine because that's pretty much all I would do at a gym. I'm not like looking to get like swole. I'm not gonna be lifting weights and shit. And like, sure, there's a bunch of like fancy like well, yeah, I'd still do it to some extent, but like there's a bunch of like fancy equipment and shit at a gym. So I guess like it would be cool for the variety, but like I feel like it would be a lot more worth it in the long run if I just like dropped the one time a couple $100 and got an exercise bike or a treadmill and just like put it in my room.
Riley, why aren't you looking to become swole?
I don't know. Well, I guess it would be cool, but like it's not my primary goal is just to lose weight, less so than like gain muscle.
You just want to be skinny and not like buff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
don't know if I'll ever be skinny, but like, yeah, that'd be cool.
Well, I mean, just fucking time, effort, build a routine, keep at it hard, and if you do lose a bunch of weight and you still look fat, it's probably just leftover skin, which you could get removed and donate.
That's true. That's also the fear is like if I lost a bunch of weight and the skin does not retract back in with me and I had to get a bunch of skin suck back in surgery or whatever.
They just chop it off. They just chop most of it off and just stitch together you back. And like, you'll look normal after like a few months.
That's fair.
And I'm pretty sure you can like do something with the skin too that like is beneficial or some shit. Or maybe I'm thinking of something totally different.
If I was made like president of the world instantly, I would make like a national law that required like all men to try to not only lose weight but become like swole.
I'm honestly for that because they're
you just want any man to be able to lift you up.
Exactly.
How much do you weigh? How much do you weigh, Kathy?
I weigh about 140 pounds.
I could lift you up for like 2 seconds.
Really?
Yeah, bro. I think I could lift you up for a little bit. Yeah. And then I'll put you in a chokehold and I'll fucking RKO you.
There we go.
Sunday. I want to talk about Catcher in the Rye.
Oh, sure.
John Lennon jokes aside.
Kill John Lennon.
John Lennon jokes aside, I'm genuinely upset that schools don't get taught this story anymore because it is like such a great book. It is like one of the best coming of age stories I've ever read. And like, it helped me get through some shit. I totally like it's a very relatable book, even though it's over 50 years old. It's over 70 years old. It's great, you know. It does teach people the lesson that growing up fucking sucks, but you can't really stop it, so you can just roll with the punches or just fucking get stopped flat and fucking die. But it's great. I like it a lot. I like the part where the main character went on a tangent about how he hates the words fuck and you, specifically when they're together.
They're fine separately, but together.
Yeah.
What about the dog masturbation page?
That's in Ham on Rye.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
different rye. Different
For
rye.
those who don't know, because it's a book about Bukowski's life, he once had a friend, and his friend was like, "Yo, check this out," and he just started jerking off a dog.
Yo, dog. Check this out, bro.
It's literally like, check this out, and he's like, Jimmy proceeded to spit in his hand.
Oh no.
And like later on, he just enters like his girlfriend's house while nobody's home, and he just pisses in their milk carton. He's like, they don't know it, but every day, a little bit by bit, they're drinking my piss.
Fucking
Yeah.
disgusting.
Yeah, don't worry. The guy later gets beat the shit out of by none other than Mr. Henry Chinaski, aka Charles Bukowski.
Good.
Good. Like, really good.
All right, gamers. Anything else we got?
I have so much more to talk about.
That's fair. I guess I'll let you keep going. I'm just gonna.
Actually, I want to do a Q&A. For
Okay.
any. Do any of you guys have questions about what's your problem? You better say something so I can promote it. I swear to God, if you don't.
Everybody ask Jason questions while I go take a shit because I didn't know if we'd be done soon or not, and I gotta go do that.
Do you have any experience with actual alcoholism yourself?
Alcoholism? I've never felt addicted, but I've drinking before. I've gotten tipsy before. I've made mistakes while under the influence before.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I'm told that I do give off the vibes of a depressed alcoholic, and I think I worded it well enough to explain exactly why Sam relies on alcohol so much in his life.
I believe you did as well.
I also have a sentence that says, whiskey, it's my kind of lullaby.
Everyone sleeps till
Till the calendar collides with June. For those unaware, there's a song called "Whiskey Is My Kind of Lullaby." It's really good. It's a song that I really like.
Anybody else have questions?
I do not.
Just think of something. Come on, give me a chance to promote the book.
Oh, all right. How long did it take you to write the book?
It's funny. I started writing in, I think, January. Actually, I could check. Hold on. I wrote the entirety of the book in less than 6 months. Believe it or not. Which I think is just. I think that's really swell. Personally, that's just my opinion. Here it is. Get info. Let's see. Created February 7th. Damn, February 7th, 2023. And then I think I finished it in like May, or at least like the first draft in May. Andrew just left. And like after that, it just only took so long. It's getting published now in August, just because one, I went through it a bunch again to correct grammatical mistakes, and then like I have to wait a long time for like the copyright process and whatnot.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I just wanted to make sure this is like the best it could be.
So are the is the woman and the friend in the book, are they based off of anything in your real life?
You are referring to the characters of Earl, Sam's best friend, and Elena, a weird girl that he meets after his wife leaves him. Elena is a sort of a like an amalgamation of like some female friends I have, and as well as like my cousins. Like I have a lot. For some reason, a lot of most of the women in my life are like incredibly like, quirky, haha, teehee. So I decided to make a character kind of around that, but also I made them a bit more real
Tolerable.
as the novel. Yeah, as the novel goes on. Yeah. And Earl is actually kind of just based off of like my lazy side. Like every time I was feeling lazy, I was like, what would Earl do? And then I wrote about that, like while I was in the middle of writing.
That's actually a very interesting writing process.
I literally like there was no like I never really had a set plan. Like I had a basic idea. Like obviously there's the initial premise, and I just had like a basic idea of how it's gonna end. But I just kind of just like let the story take its own shape. Like I'd never like planned for Elena to be a character. It just sort of happened. But like
Mhm.
as I was getting more and more into it, that's why honestly, her introduction in the book kind of feels a bit like very different from the rest of her. But like you can clearly see her like taking more of a distinct shape in my mind as the book goes on.
Do you mean her introduction like in the coffee house or her
Yeah,
introduction
in
in
the
the
cafe.
house?
In the cafe.
Okay.
Like the first time the audience gets to see what she's like.
Yeah. I thought that was just going to be like a throwaway character.
Me too. But I was like,
Damn.
let me take it more and more as far as I can go. Yeah, it's really cool, really fun.
So Mo, why don't you ask him another question?
Okay. When you were coming up with the idea of the story, what initially kicked it off?
Believe it or not, a dream I had. I literally this is gonna sound so fucking pathetic, but I literally had a dream where I was like laying in my bed, and like I had like a beautiful girl next to me, one that I loved and cared for, and she loved me and cared for me, and she was just like tears in her eyes saying, "Please don't go." And then I woke up alone, all by myself. So obviously I wanted to kill myself. And then I was thinking like, damn, I feel really sad after that. I wonder how like people whose life left them like must feel. And then I wrote about that, and I increased the stakes more by making it so that like they just had a child together, and she also left with that child.
I had a shitty dream one night, and when I went to work the next day, I fucking quit my job because I thought that was the universe telling me
Speak
I need to
your
quit my
truth,
job.
King.
But I wish I didn't because I was just
Um,
having a bad day.
well, I mean, if your job like makes you like super unhappy, like, and you have the opportunity to get a different job, then I definitely say quit your job and go for it.
Oh yeah, totally, of course,
Yeah.
of course.
I had a shitty dream where my mom was driving me on the expressway, and one time, and the road just stopped, so our car just started falling, and like,
I hate dreams like that.
yeah, and I've been scared of the expressway ever since.
I want to go back to school books for a second. A book that I had the chance for my sophomore year of high school, the teacher was like, "We're gonna split off into 4 groups, and like you can choose what one of these 4 books to read." And I chose Hiroshima, and I regret it because it was really boring. And and Of Mice and Men was an option, and I heard a lot of good things about that, and I really liked
Yeah,
the
My
movie.
Cement is a great fucking book.
Yeah, I bought it. It was on sale at Barnes and Noble, and I bought it. I haven't gotten around to reading it yet because I want to get through some other shit first. It's real good. Like it's very. I did not realize it was so short. It's only like 100 pages long.
Of Mice and Men, really?
Yeah,
I
I
remember it
can't.
being long.
I was very sad when I watched the movie and like the thing happened to Lenny.
What happened exactly?
He got told about the rabbits.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about the rabbits, George.
Tell me
I also
about the
need
rabbits, George.
I also need to read To Kill a Mockingbird because I also got that at this on the same time I got Of Mice and Men. But again, I'm just like reading the other shit first. You guys know anything about Hemingway?
I know, but I always kind of like I always got turned off listening to his or reading his stuff because every fucking little fucking literature dude, bro, was like Hemingway, Hemingway, Hemingway. I was like, dude, I'm so sick of fucking Hemingway.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think he's like spectacularly amazing, but like
Oh, he is like like real recognized real here in this
yeah.
case.
I mean, he did. To be fair, he did like pioneer like simplistic writing, like like annoying like shit from like an old like, English literature is like no longer a thing thanks to Hemingway. Like he pioneered like just like modern writing style. So I definitely appreciate him for that. And like I do like the only book of his I've read is The Sun Also Rises, which is his first novel, but I really liked it. Like, even if like I thought some parts were a bit like too pretentiousy, and I didn't really see like why everybody loves it, but like I definitely appreciated it for what it did. Also learned recently that it coined the term the silent generation. So when we refer to people who fought in World War I as the silent generation, that's all because of Hemingway.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. I think that's like fucking insane, personally. But also, I mainly bring him up because do you know about the life this motherfucker lived?
No, what did he live like?
Bro was just like straight up inhuman. Like, this man has almost died like a cajillion times, but simply just said no.
Yeah, no, none of that. None of that, please.
I mentioned this a lot of times. I mentioned this a lot of times before, but like he went rhino hunting in Africa. He got injured,
Uh-huh.
got on a plane to go like get medical attention. That plane crashed, but he lived. 24 hours later, he boards another plane. That crashes as well, and he lives.
Man, the Lord must really had it out for him, like, or
He
like he
shot
made a
himself
deal.
in the foot when he was aiming at a shark.
Oh wow.
What? Why was he trying to shoot a shark with a gun?
He was really into hunting. He was really into like hunting and shit back then. And also, he was really into boxing and like the Ride of the Bulls. It was he just like lived an insane fucking life. He also had
I'm a
like
pugilist.
a cajillion wives and children. Not like all at the same time. Like he married a woman and then he got a kid and then he got divorced and the cycle repeated.
Oh, that's a shame.
Funnily enough, though, like all these things that should have killed him that didn't. The only thing to kill him was him.
He killed himself.
In the 60s, he got like early 60s. He got really depressed, and because it was the early 60s, they gave him electroshock therapy, and that just fucked
Ooh,
his head even more, and he killed himself
that's awful.
with his hunting rifle.
Oh no.
Oh, that's a hefty weapon to kill yourself with.
At least he used something like using.
Oh, Jason, you're Robot City a little bit there.
You know, it's a shame that people that kill themselves go to hell.
I mean, whether or
stop.
not he killed himself, Hemingway was definitely going to hell.
Yeah, regardless of his cause of death.
Bro may have been a good writer, but he was not a good family man.
What the fuck did he do to his family?
He was just like a negligent dad.
He was just like kind of a dick. He didn't do anything to his family, per se.
No, well, I mean, he like married a woman, had a kid, and then was just like, ill kid, and then like walked out on them and found a new wife.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Yeah. But I mean, hey, he wrote a good story.
I mean, this is why divorce isn't real.
Divorce is not real?
Yeah.
What do you. Oh, okay. All right.
There can be no such thing as a divorce unless your partner cheats on you.
I don't. What if your partner abuses you?
Let's just not go into this line of questioning.
Yeah, okay, yeah, sure.
Because I don't like the long silence.
Yeah,
So
Kathy has her beliefs, I have mine. Hey, what do you guys think? Do you guys know what Penguin Classics are?
no, I
Penguin
don't.
Mage Classics?
Anyways, Penguin Classics is a publishing house, and like if you want any book that's like somewhat popular that is past the age of like 20, get the Penguin Classics version because apparently they have like a what they do is like they give like a little introduction page that that shows like the context of both the author's life and like the time frame that the book was released around. Like for example, like there's Hemingway's books have like a similar thing, though they're not Penguin Classics, but like all the characters were acting super weird towards this like German waiter for no reason. I was like, what the fuck? And then I realized, and like it took me a second to realize, oh, it's because they're all World War One vets. And I had like a little note explaining that to me. And like Penguin Classics basically does that. They talk about the time frame and like the author's life to give like context around it, and also like if there's like really weird like languaging around it, because English is a language that evolves over time, they'll like not they won't like dumb it down, but they'll like try and explain exactly what that means. And it's a really good thing. They're a really good publishing house.
Yeah.
I have the Penguin Classics of Mice and Men.
Mm-hmm.
That's the edition I got, and I have a bunch on my Amazon wish list of books to get.
Of course, you gotta have all those Penguin classics.
Of course. I also bought a book on Amazon that was like part 1 of 4 in like a series of novels, and then it came, and then it was 800 pages long, and then I returned it.
Someday, What's Your Problem will be a Penguin classic.
I would be fucking elated if I'm still alive by the time if it were to become a Penguin classic, and like I'm alive, I will do the introduction text.
So I guess because I had to leave the room during the Q&A, I had one more question, I guess, about your book. I guess I've heard like a lot of authors talk about their work, and I know it varies from person to person. Like at what point they released their work, like whether they had written other things before that didn't see the light of day. What has been your writing process for this book, and have there been any like full on book written words that you've done that didn't come out before this one did?
So my writing process was literally just I opened a Word document and started typing. Like literally, I said this before in the Q&A section, but like one of the most pivotal characters in What's Your Problem was like originally just not planned to be there. Like I just sort of like wrote it as a one-off encounter, but I was like, you know what, let's just keep it going.
Let's just keep them there.
Yeah, like straight up. And now she's like it's like the second most important character right next to the main character. And so like I literally just had like the basic premise of like a man just like going through some shit after his wife leaves him, and then like the idea of just like what I want the ending to be like, which I'm not going to spoil. But that was the writing process for What's Your Problem. In between, if I just couldn't find any like anything to write, like in terms of what's your problem, I did write like either a short story or a poem, which have not seen the light of day. But I have plans to make them see the light of day sometime in the future.
We've got plans in the works.
Yeah, a collection of short stories and poems by Johann Birch. And actually, while waiting for like all the legal shit to get through with What's Your Problem, like after I finished it, and like after I was just like waiting on other on factors that were out of my control, I started writing another novel.
Ooh, what's this one called?
I'm not gonna say anything about it other than it is in the works, but like I don't think it'll be finished anytime soon.
This one is called What's Your Issue?
Yeah, it's called What's Your Yeah, it's a sequel. It's called What's Your Issue.
Yeah.
Follows Sam as as he finds a new wife who also leaves him. But no, it's totally disconnected, and it's going to be way more like humor focused. But I think it'll be good when it eventually comes out.
Holy shit! Fucking Crip Daddy died.
Yeah,
Oh my
man.
Christ.
Fucking-
Mo literally told me that the second he joined the call.
Oh my god.
Hey, can I say something really quick?
Sure.
Over the course of this recording, I've been in a lot of pain. I've had
Why?
like a bacon-sized chunk of flesh removed from my body.
What the fuck? Good?
How? Why? What happened?
Okay, so there's this chair, and it didn't have like the seat in it, so the bottom of it was just like blown out, right? I went to go sit in it, and I didn't look if there was a
And it
bottom or
just
not.
collapsed?
So no, it didn't collapse because it was made out of metal. But there's like a metal bit.
Oh!
Yeah, there was a metal bit sticking
Oh
out,
no!
and it just like I didn't see it, and it just like scraped off my flesh. It's not
Alright,
very
thank you for watching the Issue Crew. You can find Kathy in the hospital.
No, I'm fine.
5-minute story explaining why I'm not fine. Guys, I'm fine.
Kathy, we're gonna listen to find you in the emergency room. Okay.
You can come visit me at Winston Plainsboro Hospital, New Jersey.
I do have something I would like to promote.
Oh, sure. Go ahead. I guess if we're, does anybody have any final things to say, or are we wrapping up?
No, I'm good.
Wait, can we all just say what our favorite book is and like rate it? Oh shit, rate it out of 10.
Fucking The Testing, 10 out of 10. Dog, let's go. Joelle Charbonneau.
Kathy?
My favorite book is the Bible. This one gets a 12 out of 10. The author is
Uh,
God.
Interesting. And Mo? Actually, wasn't it a collaborative effort though?
Technically, yes, but it was written by God.
Okay.
Like
And
the
Mo?
actual words.
Gotcha. And Mo?
yes.
What's your favorite book and rating out of 10?
Oh man, that's a fuck of a hell of a question to ask. But honestly, like the very first book was the fucking Hobbit, and so I feel like I want to just go ahead and pick that just because it's responsible for the reason why I started reading and why I got into high fantasy as a kid, and I loved all of those types of shows and stuff. So yeah, I'll go ahead and just take. I'll go ahead and keep that.
And my favorite book is Ham on Rye by Charles Bukowski. I give it a 10 out of 10. Of all the books I would read through again, that's like easily number one for me.
You know what? I'm gonna be real with you. Thinking about it, I'm gonna change my answer. Cause I liked The Testing a lot.
What's Your Problem by Johann Birch?
Oh yeah. I think that'll change my answer again once I read that. But as much as I remember loving The Testing and that whole trilogy, I don't remember a lot about it now. But a book I definitely do remember a little bit more about and have always appreciated is The Outsiders. So I'm actually going to say my favorite book is The Outsiders.
That is so valid.
The Outsiders rocks, and if you were curious, 10 out of 10, of course.
That honestly is the best story you could possibly read in school because it's got like violence and shit. It's got guns and
Yeah, it's pretty epic.
some people die.
True. I don't remember his actual character name, but I know Patrick Swayze gets suicide by cop.
I think his name is like Daniel or Dan or some shit.
Yeah, something like that.
Starts with a D.
Patrick Swayze, you know.
I was actually so upset when he died.
Yeah, me too.
I was like, what? No!
I can't believe they did this to our boy.
For real, he was like the coolest character. He was the coolest guy.
But folks, that'll wrap us up for today's issue crew. Kathy, you had something to plug?
I would like to plug the God's favorite church.
All right, Mo Diggity,
I
where can our
implore you-
listeners find you?
You can find me at MSG Official YT on Twitter.com/MSG Official YT. And Moside Gaming everywhere else. Kick.com/Moside Gaming, YouTube.com/@Moside Gaming. And yeah, there I am.
Andrew, where can our listeners find you?
Thanks, Riley. You can find me at youtube.com/@AndrewIsAway. I make Let's Plays. You can also find me at Big Guy Little Guy on YouTube. I make Let's Plays with Riley.
Thank you for your words, Andrew.
Yeah, thanks, Andrew. Thanks, buddy. Where can they find you, Jason, our special guest?
You can find me at hold on. You can find me at amazon.com/dp/B0CFZFD3ZS. Or you can find me at youtube.com/@jELeeoo. That's the Amazon link to buy What's Your Problem.
Okay.
Or you can find me at youtube.com/jELeeoo. I make pretty good videos about pretty good video games, or sometimes I make videos about bad video games, but they're good videos. And you can also find my literary work, which I'm like super proud of now. And you fucking make sure to get it now before September 31st, or else it will increase in price. It's 30% off right now. So feel free to get it right now.
All right, folks. Nice.
Definitely
buy Jason's book.
I have more stuff. Get it either Kindle or paperback, or I guess if you want to wait I don't know, a few months, you can get an audiobook.
I want a hardcover. I'd pay a premium for a hardcover.
I don't want to do a hardcover because it would probably be super expensive.
That's fine.
Yeah, hardcover shit's like way later on down the line.
Yeah, hardcover is like the 10-year anniversary special.
I was going to say 5-year just to make it a little bit sooner for you.
Yeah. It's definitely hardcover is just not going to happen anytime soon, unless you want to pay for it.
Understand it. Do you have to like pay a fee for it then?
I'd imagine it's like the same thing with like the paperback, where like every time someone buys it, a bit comes out of your pocket. But I assume it's more because it's a hardcover.
That's true, and you don't get paid right away. So yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
And folks, I don't know if you've taken a look at the description lately. I don't know if
You can find what's your problem in the description down below.
It's true. You can find what's your problem in the description, but at the bottom of that description, you may notice a certain number. You may notice that this is no. But you may notice, folks, that this is episode 49 of the Issue Crew, which means next week is the Issue Crew episode 50 celebration.
I will be spearheading this celebration. I will be hosting the episode. It's going to be the most centric episode. I will be completely and totally taking over
to match your age.
All things.
Yeah, that's how we're twisting up the show for episode 50. Is we're gonna, I'm actually gonna give up running it, and I'm gonna make Mo run it instead.
Shouldn't you wait till episode 52 because you'll have been doing this for an entire year?
Well, we're gonna celebrate that a little bit too. I made sure everybody knew both dates so that we would try to all be here. But either way, so yeah, episode 50.
Can I get a dedicated section talking about how awesome I am in those episodes, even if I don't make it?
You know what?
Wait, isn't episode 51 supposed to be a special episode?
What do you mean by that?
To celebrate Suda 51, of course.
No. 51, No, 59.
59 is the special episode.
Yeah.
What the fuck is 59?
59 is, we have special plans for 59.
So do you guys want to wear the vest, or...
Wait.
I don't want to spoil our episode 59 plans, even though we've already
let's
said
just
them
say
before.
It's going to end with a blast. let's just say we're going to go out with a real bang on episode 59.
Okay, well, I guess we have said it on the show before. So there are plans in the work for episode 59 to be the quote as titled by Demi Gloom, "Oops, all trans" episode. Which means I will not be present, and Demi Gloom will probably be hosting with all of her wonderful friends from the. No, you might be on it, Kathy, but Demi's hosting it. Get fucked.
Why can't I host it? I'm way more pissed. We should let Jason host the trans episode.
Yeah, of course. But folks, that's it for the Issue Crew. We'll see you next week for big episode 50. I have been Riley.
I have been Kathy. Oh.
I have been Johan Birch, author of What's Your Problem, available now on Amazon.com. Link in the description.
And I've been Andrew. Thank you, Andrew.
And I have been a loyal servant of our Lord Christ.
And we'll see you next week, folks.
Tired of boring old books from school that are just super boring and you just don't like them and you don't read them and so on and so forth? Well, now introducing What's Your Problem by Johan Birch. What's Your Problem is quite the humorous tale following Sam, a man whose wife and newborn child left him. Whoops. Follow Sam as he's left with the aftermath of this whole situation as he tries to rediscover who he is as a person. Meet his wacky friends along the way like Earl and Elena. Watch him get into kerfuffles such as drinking a lot, going to the park, drinking a lot. There's a lot of alcohol in the book. But it's awesome and cool, and you should read it right now. Link in the description to buy it on Amazon. You can either get it in paperback or on a Kindle ebook. What's Your Problem? The 10 out of 10 book that's not actually... I'd never heard someone call it a 10 out of 10, but trust me, it's good. Buy it, please. It gives me money.